We could solve this one without using energy. We could figure out with the force the rate of deceleration. Then we could figure out our initial velocity and the displacement, and then we could figure out the final velocity. I'd rather do it in one step though with energy. Okay, so before is going to be this car on the left side moving at this speed, right? And then afterwards will be the car moving presumably slower, right? Okay, having been slowed by this force, right? So I think all we have on the left side is the kinetic energy, right? We've got 1/2 mv squared. It's moving, right? So if it's moving, you have kinetic energy, right? And then I think that that retarding force, right, is going to be the velocity is this way, but the force is the other way. So that's going to be a slows you down force. So that force goes on the right side, okay? So force times distance, right? And then I don't see it going up a hill. In fact, this thing's all on the level, so there's no MGH anywhere. But I do believe it's moving, right? We want to know the velocity afterwards, right? So I think it's got kinetic energy after the puddle. This is like the Fred Meyer parking lot, right? Giant puddle like that. I avoid that puddle with my Prius. What are the ramifications of driving a electric car through a deep puddle? Anyway, I'm sure it's safe. Okay, let's plug in some numbers. So 1/2 890 times 6.2 squared, right, equals that force times the distance. So it spends some of its assets on going through that puddle, right? So 3,200 times 3.6, right, plus 1/2 890 v squared. And again, we don't know the v, right? So 0.5, whoops, got to turn my calculator, 0.5 times 890 times 6.2 squared is 17,105.8, and then 32 times 3.6, it's 11,000 plus, and then what's half of 890? 0.5 times 890, I think it's 445, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so my next step is I'm going to go this minus this, right? Need space. We need math space. All right, 17,105.8 minus 11,520. Okay, so I've got 5,585.8 equals 445 v squared, and now I'm going to divide both sides by 445. And I get 12.552 equals v squared. And now I'm going to square root both sides. So raised to the 0.5. 3.54 equals v squared. Or I'm sorry, what equals v? Yeah. So we have to round it. I guess we only have 2 digits there, and 2 digits there, and 2 there, and 2 there. So we'd have to round that to about 2. Okay.